Okay, so there's apparently a lot of stuff going on. And I'm not here to discuss politics. So if somebody wants to discuss politics and, get into a battle over teams or something, yeah, this isn't the place. And for one thing, I 100% believe this is the end of corruption. This is the end of the government. This is the government being exposed. Just like everything else is being exposed. There's so much shit being exposed right now. Like it's crazy. And then down at the border, they've had some big drama where they're building it up like, some fucking war or something. And they'll start I bet you they're gonna start there's gonna start being bloodshed. There's gonna be some shenanigans. I saw this guy doing this breakdown too on, I don't know, I think he's kind of religious. A lot of people, when they start attaching to their spirit side, then they go to the safety zone of religion. Like, well, that's the acceptable thing. It must be. That's probably what God is what they say. And it's like, no, that's more lies. This place is built on lies. And as another way that they trap people, they trap people's spirit, like, and create limitations so that you stay in limitation. So, anyways, but you got to know your own power, your own strength to break free. That's what a lot of people are here learning. I saw this news clip too of something Congress put in, like this giant ass thing, like about this tall, of a bunch of shenanigans, and they're just going to put it through overnight because they want $3 trillion to go into. I mean, it's the most absurd programs that you can even imagine. Gay people, gay children watching TV, and let's monitor what they like to watch. Or how many times do gay people wear blue? It's all just total absurdity. And it's all, to get people to be like, oh my fucking God. And it will. It will get people who are really focused on that, or buy into it and believe it all. And then they will get, them out bitching and complaining, and that will wake up more people. So the energy keeps going. But that's what it's all for. It's all about this awakening. And I just, there's people who just think like this is a different thing. And to think that we're going to still be governed. Like, there's nobody who's truly awake who is anywhere near going to be governed. That's a part of awakening, is understanding your sovereignty, understanding you answer to self. You answer to the Almighty. The Almighty you fear is your own ignorance, your own ability to go into a game and get completely out of balance and jack shit up. So, whatever all these other people, it's like you guys just, you don't know what the hell's going on. And then you have all these fucking spiritual leaders. I can't believe how many of these big old spiritual gurus out there in our Love and Light community out there leading the way in this spiritual awakening. Come on, guys, I know the way. And they cringe me so much, I can't even believe it. I don't ever see any that I'm just not like cringe. I can't even stand to watch them. I'll just go right past them. They start talking. It's like, oh, and people just like jump on to whatever they're saying. And, but, it's all everybody else's lessons. Like, everybody gets to learn their lessons, be a follower. Don't think for yourself and see where it gets you. And there's so many people who are just, I don't think they're purposely misleading. It's not like that. They're leading out of ignorance. They're leading out of ego. They've never, whatever position that they have ever found themselves in, learner, has been a brief moment, I think. And some of this stuff, where it's like they're just spouting stuff off that they read or something. Like, I don't know. It keeps being like super cringy to me. And there's just so much like desperation and personas. Like, they're just creating personas. This is about taking all the masks off. This is about showing and revealing your true self, not about creating a new persona Now I'm creating, no, now I'm no longer a bar girl. Now I'm creating my spiritual persona. And this is how my spiritual persona dresses. And this is how my spiritual persona, it just seems like it's just switching into a new mask. It doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem authentic. And it seems like they just want attention and saying things. I don't know. I don't know why it really gets me. And they get so much attention. Like this one video I saw this girl do, and it just gets shared and shared and shared and shared. And I haven't listened to the whole thing because, like I said, every time, whenever I see her, I just feel super cringy. And it was getting shared so many times, I thought, okay, I'm gonna sit and listen for a second. And then she said something where I was like, what the fuck? It was, you can raise your kundalini, or God will do it for you. God will do it for you. And I was like, this is the same fucking nonsense where they keep on saying, oh, the energy, it's cleansing. The energy is just doing it. You just don't worry about a thing. You're just ascending. Just, you go through your ascension pains. Don't worry about a thing. It's like, God's doing it for you. God's doing the work. That's Savior. That Jesus Savior. We don't call, but, I do see a lot of those accounts too. They fucking sit there, oh, I'm so spiritual, look at me, oh. And then go, let's get out the Bible. Let's look over Isaiah 22:23 today. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. And it's supposed to, so anyways, yeah, God will raise your kundalini. Don't worry about doing a thing. You just sit there and don't do anything. Well, so if God is going to go in and just change everybody into these perfect beings, and they don't have to do any fucking work, well, I bet you that's probably why these archons or archons or whatever the fuck they are probably aren't very happy. Because who's fucking doing the work for them? Like, I don't understand how all these people just think, like, ignore stuff. Ignore things, they'll just go away. If you don't look at it, you pretend it's not there, it goes away. Pain and trauma goes away. That's what a lot of them is like. I can see when I'm looking at their fakeness, I see the trauma underneath. And it's just like, why do you not get down to your trauma? Why are you trying to keep on hiding? Why do you keep trying to put a persona out there? Why do you keep trying to be this fake person? Like, what is the accomplishment? I don't get it. And to me, this whole thing, like, you have to do the work yourself. I mean, it is absolutely absurd. And I've said this so many fucking times. These people sitting there saying that shit. Like, oh, the Schumann resonance. Oh, there's a solar flush. I'll just sit back. The work will be done for you. Stay positive. Don't think of anything negative. Like, oh my God. So if we pretend like there's nothing negative, well, it just purges itself out. It just releases itself. Well, God does it. The Almighty, he's got nothing to do. He'll just do your work for you. Don't worry about a thing. He's got you. It's like, I think it's the other way around. I think you get God. So you do the work for God. You are a patron of the gods. You are taking the steps towards your goddom. It's like, you are the worker. You are the expansion. You are the creator. You are the one who is making a difference, who's changing the world. And some people are changing it for bad, changing it for negative. There's one person that was, who I had talked about a few times, and they were, I was like, man, seems like something's going to happen with them, because everything that happens, they just keep on ignore it. Let's just focus on government, politics, hate, division. Ignore all the things that keep happening in your own life. And anyways, I haven't seen her at all So I don't know if she's just gotten out of my algorithm somehow. The other one, I stopped following the one because the Lucifer's Lover girl, I don't know what's going on with her either. She was going way off into dark. Like, there's a lot of people who are just, like, if I try and explain it this way, but I still don't know that anybody will get it, but they pull in the dark. And so it's the same way as like an advancement. When an advancement is available, a lot of people who did not see that event didn't catch on. They didn't know. So therefore they're in denial. It doesn't exist. And they are on a different train. So the aging train. So there's lots of people who spent lots of years aging. They believe aging is real. And they think that people who say aging isn't real are mental. They're crazy. And obviously aging is real because they are doing it. But so do you see how you create what it is you believe in? Like, they make sure that it happens because they believe it. They believe it's going to happen, so they focus on it. And it occurs because they create it. And the sad thing about it is because so much associated with aging is a surrender. It's a surrendering your health. It's a giving up. It's like it doesn't really matter anymore. And so you give up on yourself. And you know, it kind of really reminds me too of, I've been crying this morning, is the animal stuff. It's fucking killer, man. I swear to God. I'm so tired. I mean, when I saw this video, I couldn't finish it. And immediately I just started bawling and just like threw my phone down. I was like, I can't even fucking keep going on here. This is too fucking much. Jesus Christ. So I don't know if there's, these are rescue people and shelter people are getting, okay, so let's say in the realm of the shelter. This makes me so emotional, man. Okay, so in the realm of the shelter, and you get a group of people, and they go to work at the shelter. And, you know, for different reasons. You have people who work because it's close to their house and they could get a job there. And I'm sure there's a lot of turnover. I'm sure there's a lot of people who do not want to work there because it's traumatic. And then you have, and then the people who do work there, they have to cut parts of themselves off so that in order to not feel. God, that's what's wrong so much in our society. So many people are cut off from their feelings. This is a reconnecting. Remember how I said like the Wi-Fi has been disrupted between you and your soul? This is like a reconnection to your feeling sides, you know, to your compassion and your empathy, or, you know, what your soul is more made of. Just like it's more made of minerals, and that makes a difference over us. So anyways, okay, so the people at the shelter, so in our society, and they go to work there, and some people think they're doing good for our cities, or keeping dogs off the street and stuff. But in the energy of the shelter, like things I have noticed, you know, like I said, is like they're going and rescuing dogs from places and then imprisoning them and putting them to death. And then we're calling that a success. Like, wow. These are living fucking beings. And then it just starts flashing all through my head of all the fucking living beings. I've even fucking eaten octopus. I ate it before I knew how smart they were. I was really having a hard time this morning. I was just crying and being like, this place is so hard. So much ignorance, so much pain here. Fuck. So the people who go and work there in this system, you know, for all their different reasons, but there is this energy that is associated with it. It's dark. It's dark in a lot of different ways. And so at some point, the people have to wake up to that. Some people wake up and leave the job or something. But there was always going to be people who were going to wake up to these things and play a role. So there's all these roles of these things being exposed and taking it down and showing us what the truth is behind the mystery wall that we put up to the illusion that we pretend like everything's okay. And when it's not, it's all just hidden from us. And we're patted on the head and told us to get out to the fucking pasture and make money. Those other people, they're doing better than you. You better hurry up. So how much pressure did parents put on their own fucking kids? You better go to school. You better get a good job. God, this society. We've all done things that we should have thought about. So, but that's what we're here to learn. You know, we're here to learn a lot of stuff, and it's, you know, it's painful. There's a lot of pain. There's pain in being able to look at what's gone wrong. There's a lot of people who are fucking really going through it on the Nickelodeon thing. That documentary, like, fuck, it has blown people up. In the amount of research, amount of stuff going on, pulling up old shows, old reels. Like, I've seen so much of Amanda as a kid, Leonardo DiCaprio as a kid, and then, I don't know, there's just so much. And, you know, it's about Charlie doing that to Corey, and thinking about, like, I mean, he was a kid actor too. Like, they just got these kid actors, you know, they did that to them, and then they got them to be perpetrators as well or something. I don't know, there's so much darkness, but there's so much that people are facing and going through and re-experiencing and looking at the shows differently. Things that they thought were innocent, they're looking at, like, it's a re-evaluation when you get the full picture, and it's emotionally draining, you know. And that is what we're already in it. We're already in the awakening. I mean, there's going to be this event still. There's going to be some event because there's going to be so much that's crashing that's going to turn us the other direction. The money, like the XRP thing, the Bitcoin thing. Like, there's so much every day. The housing thing, the retirement. It's every day. It's like it's fired up. It's fucking going, and it's going to just it's going to blow. And so you can watch it. It's building. Like, it's like they've got the little thing, like when my fire is going out, and I get the little fan thing and pump that air in. It's like what the air is being pumped in. It's like the light is bringing in, and the air is pumping in, and it's bringing all this information up, and it's a fucking lot. So we have people who are in these places that are here to expose. There's all different people playing all different roles. Like, there was a horrible fucking thing that just happened in San Bernardino. Oh, my nose is dripping. Apparently, I don't know why the cops all showed up in force at this person's house, but they end up doing in a 15-year-old autistic kid. His mom's disabled in a wheelchair or something. The cops are just manhandling her. It's sickening. It's sickening to see. And, you know, she's like, just saw her son get, God, this world. I just saw, cops are so much on follow orders. They are very much not people who think for themselves. They're ashamed for thinking for themselves. They're supposed to just follow orders. That's what builds them up as being better. But it's the same thing on all these different parts. It's like where you wake up to where you stop following orders, where you start listening to yourself, where you feel that connection, where you question things like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. Something feels off here. I don't know if I should be doing this. And so you have all these cops following orders when you just saw a big display of them in this video of just could care less. Could care less. You just fucking murdered a kid, a disabled kid in front of his disabled. Fuck, this world is fucking hard. God. Man, it's hard to get through some of this stuff. Just so much sadness. But the video that really did me in this morning is like some of this. I think that there's people who are to expose this stuff, so we have to see the mistreatment that we've created. And this video, this girl was showing this dog, and she showed a whole bunch of pictures of it. It was given by its owner to the shelter. It was 10 years old, this dog. And so many of these dogs, so many fucking older dogs. And I fucking know how hard it is. Like, Winston was so fucking challenging, and he was sick. It was expensive, and he had been challenging for so long. But, you know, it always shows you who you are, you know, like all this stuff. Everything I'm going through with her, and everything we go through. Right after I had seen that about, you know, like when I'm going through with her, I saw another girl with a big giant dog in her video, and she said that she something happened with hers and got some neurological something happened. Probably he needs fucking detoxing too. I think everybody needs detoxing all the fucking time. And but anyway, so he has started attacking, and had bit somebody in the face. So she's even getting scared of her dog, and he is really reactive or something, and huge, giant like Stella. And she said in her video, because she was asking like for help, like she just seemed, you know, defeated, which I get. Like, it can be draining when you have a dog that has a problem and you don't know what to do when you love them. And it's like, and you don't want to put them down. Like, that doesn't seem right, because she whines at me. Like, she's, like, she loves to go on walks. She loves to eat treats. She loves to go play. There's all these things that she loves to do. And right now, she's laying there just, during the night, she's been doing good. She can't go past like 3 or 4 hours. And then she usually wants to go outside in the middle of the night. And she does do a lot of whining at me. And she does look at me to make her feel better a lot. And it does drain me. And it is hard. But I totally could understand what that girl was saying. Like, you know, but no matter what, I can't do that. Even when, you know, I know she's having some kind of pain, but then I go back to like this, but this isn't like Winston's. This isn't like cancer. And that was before I even knew about doing all the cleansing. I wish I would have known that I could have done all that, and I could have maybe helped him, you know. I don't know. I know that when I was with my last husband, he always bought them shitty food, because we had 2 dogs, and I'm sure when he took, that dog was Jim, and I'm sure when he took him that he, I don't know, I think something happened. Breaks my fucking heart. So that's what gives me peace too, is that Winston and Jim are back together. But anyways, I don't remember why I was going off on that. Oh yeah, because this video. So these people have surrendered their dog. And there's tons of people. So many people are surrendering their older dogs, I guess for various reasons. I'm sure some people because they have nowhere to live. Some people because they can't afford to feed them. Like, it's bad. Like, the world is falling apart. And so this girl is doing this video showing this dog and telling the story. And it calls the people out by name. I think she calls them out by name, or was it just her? I swear to God she called them out by name, but I don't know. And she said, you probably aren't going to see this video, but I hope you do. And they said that she starts showing pictures of the dog and saying after the dog was surrendered, he just sat there. He was scared to death. He just sat in a corner shaking, and he kept looking everywhere for his people. He had no idea where he was. He didn't know what he had done wrong. He didn't know what was wrong. And he just kept looking, and he was so scared. And she keeps showing all these pictures. So they went in and gave him a tranquilizer and then picked up his lifeless body and took him to the thing. And I was like, I had to change it. I was like, fuck, this world. God, fuck. We gotta make so many changes. That's not okay. There's a lot of things here. They're not okay that people have accepted for a long time. We've accepted a lot of dark stuff. It's not okay. Everything that is alive has the right to be alive and have its experience. And everything that is going through the experiences right now is to teach us to respect that. To respect, you know, like, it's got to be so bad so that we catches our attention so we see. Because that's what makes the changes. We can't change what's already done. We can't make it different. We can only change as we go forward. We can make better choices. We can do better, you know. There should have never been such a irresponsibility towards domesticating animals. It was wrong. It was wrong, honey. It was wrong. I'm sorry. Oh, after I say she's not, she wakes up to whine at me a little bit. But I know her. Some things are bothering her. Her legs are for sure bothering her, which I think her back is bothering her. I think like she's got a muscle spasm. Oh, I never finished saying about that, because when I had gotten that one, my whole body was crooked. And I was sitting on the couch studying. It was when I was in nursing school. And I was just sitting there studying, and all of a sudden I tried to get up, and I couldn't. It was, my back had gotten like weird. Like it had sat, and it created like a spasm, and I couldn't move. And it felt like, I thought my back had like slipped a disc or something. I couldn't believe how painful it was, but it's just the muscle will pull that tight and hold it. And she has giant ass muscles. And so that's why I try and do these massages and relax her muscles and stuff. But I think like she's got a big muscle and it's pulling her back, which because her hips hurt. I don't know. I do want to get more like with the med bed stuff. I do want to get way more into that healing and stuff, because that's the thing is she's got deformities and arthritis. It's not like she has a sickness or a disease. And I think I've probably trained her to be whining at me because I was so scared after losing Lucy. I was so scared that every single peep she makes, I jump up like, what is it? And like she has me on edge. And then it's like, okay, so I'm on edge and I'm getting upset and I'm getting mad, but I've done it to myself. So now it's like, I've got to go backwards. I've got to, you know, be able to release that whining in my own self, like to be able to be like, okay, she can whine. It doesn't mean she's about to die. It doesn't mean like, you know, she's uncomfortable. Like I'm uncomfortable sometimes and I whine. Like it's okay to whine. And I don't know why I get so triggered by it. There's a lot of things like I don't know why I get triggered. I don't know why I get triggered by fake ass people. Like I don't know why. I think I can ignore a lot of fake ass people. I think it's like when they say bullshit and then they you know, have everybody gathered around them like, oh my God, they're so smart. They're so smart. It's like, they're just, what, they could just say anything. They could just go out there and just say anything. Just like what Trump was saying that time. Like, I could just go out and just start shooting and then people will be still like, oh, he's so great. It's like, yeah, there's something in a human character that they just jump on board. Well, whatever they do. And that is what they're trying to break. That is a savior, all in, trust him 100%. My nose is so drippy. Hold on, I gotta get tissue. This is ridiculous. Sprung a leak. Sprung a leak. It's leaking out my face. I bet I have been doing a lot of that lymphatic drainage stuff. And especially like trying to do around here, because I know that's what's going on. I know it's this botulism. That would be my next thing. If I was still wrapped up in the Western med, that'd be the next thing. Maybe just start cutting shit off my face. So anyways, you gotta just do it yourself. you know, and focus on your own healing and whatnot. And that's the result of choices I made by letting them inject toxins into my face and thinking that that was going to make me look better. Like, you know, now I gotta, you know, get the consequences of that. Okay, so did I finish out what I was saying? So the, did I finish about the sadness with the Humane Society, and then people are here playing roles, and it's been different roles, but now we're on this different thing where people are, it's like whistleblower, you know, everywhere. Everybody's got whistleblowers. Everybody's got people exposing stuff all over the place, because that is the roles are shifting. That's where things are starting to go, with people who just went in and did all these roles, but now it's people exposing all the roles. So, but what was the other thing I was talking about that I hadn't finished before that I started to talk about? And then I started talking about it again. And then did I just go blank on it again? I don't know. I'll have to see if it comes back to me or not. And now too, it's like, it's 9 weeks until, the surgery. And so it's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of weeks to keep this money thing going. Like, I don't know. It's so funny because, like, I thought it was going to go for so long. I thought it was going to crash, and then it didn't. And now, now it's like, now it feels so close, but it's like, man, I want to get done with my stuff, but who knows? Like, anything can happen. Like, look, my surgery could get moved up. Like, next week, Tuesday, I go get that mammogram thing. And then the next week, I think it is, I'll make another payment, and then I'll be like, it'll be almost paid off. And then, you know, I don't know, anything could happen. Like, I think medical stuff is going to start closing down more and more, just like the cops having to think for themselves, all these different ones. Oh yeah, because that one where I saw these cops being just mindless robots. It was like at a courthouse, and there were some people who were had signs up that were protesting about something, and the cops started trying to remove them. And there was somebody who knew rights and started saying, you can't do that, and started standing up for the people and saying all this stuff. And the cops wouldn't listen. The cops just kept going. They're just like mindless robots. Like, and they're all going to have to wake up to that. They're going to have to wake up to the choices they made, because the choices they made are going, well, we'll just see. We'll see. There's going to be, I bet you, there is going to be a lot. I already said, there's going to be a lot of suicide, a whole lot. And there's going to be a lot of like certain positions where they did a lot of shitty things and they followed orders, and then to have to wake up to that side of themselves as being so submissive and blind to their own soul's choices and stuff. So that is going to take out a lot of people, because they're not going to be able to face themselves, because that's the hardest thing to face. Look at that. People would rather put themselves down is to not face themselves, when you're still going to go and face yourself. But they think like it's just to go face God himself. So they're going to put themselves down to go face God themselves. They'd rather face God themselves to feel the pain inside of them of their own choices. Because your choices of your own stuff is the part that is so hard to get over. Why you made the choices you made. Why you did the things you did. And everybody's been traumatized and stuff. Like, everybody can go backwards, and you can find places where you were traumatized. And that's why you got to go through the process so you can release it. Because everybody is, you know, everybody's broken. You know, nobody is, we're a world of broken, this is the island of broken toys. But in this game, whatever, you know, it's all opportunities for growth and challenging yourself and helping others. Like, there's a lot of things that are going on here. But, you know, it is a lot of painful things. Like, it's fucking, I think, a lot of painful things. Still keep trying to think of what it was I was saying. Seemed like it was something I was saying that I wanted to say. Like, it was something that I don't know. I do feel like I'm all over the place though too. Like still, like it feels weird. It feels like even when I go on TikTok, it feels like the same thing as I feel inside. It's like I'm seeing it outside, and I don't know how to explain it. It's like everything is churning faster, and it feels like, yeah, it's about to just like spin. It's like it's kind of like so tightly wound. It's like it springs off of the thing that winds it, and that's like what flips it to go the other direction. Because it's like look how tightly it's all around. The corruption, it's astounding how much corruption in this whole world, and how much that we've all just played along. Just played along. Just don't talk, don't say, don't question anything. Just, keep your mouth shut and do what you're told. It's like, God, this place was dystopia already. People fear we're going to go into a dystopia. No, we're having to realize that we were in one, and we accepted it. But that is wild, though, how so many people would rather not have to face themselves and would rather have to meet their maker in a suicide. But really, it is, you can't get away from whatever it is you won't face there. You're just going to face in your life review, and then you're going to probably have to go in and figure out new ways to go in so you can try and figure out how to face it. It's always best in your soul's journey is to face yourself, to face whatever it is that you're trying to hide from, face whatever it is that is hard or dark. And you got to remember that all the things that are happening is for my growth. Like everything that she does, like, could be driving me crazy and challenging me and putting me on my wits' end is, it's for me to grow those parts of me. It's not for me to change her. And she limps on, waddles on by. Oh, God, I love her so much. Like, but I will, like, if I woke up, and she was laying there dead, it's like she had a heart attack or something at night, I would feel a lot more like, okay, she finally got out of that broken body that she was sick of. But I know she'll come back to me. I know she'll come back to me. Yes, she will, because we were here to learn with each other and to grow. But that is sad, I wish all of our time together would all just be fun and games and not just challenges all the time. But it is like we're in a time of challenge. We're in a time to push us to our wits' end. Pushing us to our wits' end. And but it is to help us grow, It is, there is a thing of like, I can't be absorbed in her experience and her pain. Like, it is her experience. It's her pain. Her soul has lived all these different lives. Like, I feel, it's weird when she starts like sniffing. And then other times, like, she does some things where I'm like, what is in here? Like, is that what's bothering her too? But anyways, that every soul, like all the animals, everything, they all are out living their own experience. They aren't just born to you by accident. And then, no, every single thing that happens to you it's purposeful. It's pre-planned. It's all there. And all of the souls that come are for you to learn and grow from. And the animals and all that, and they recirculate through our lives. Like, we all recirculate through our lives. Like, it's not like new people all the time. It's just that we switch roles around. We just play different roles all the time. And I think that you have certain people that you come in, that you do a lot of lives with. Like, you do a whole bunch. I think it's like closer to your vibration that you do a lot of different lives with. That is what I think is part of this challenge right now, is because it has to do with magnetism, which I thought was really interesting yesterday because I put it on some old movie, one of these old sci-fi horror movies, and it was saying, first it was talking about something that I was like, oh, this is totally disclosure. This is like fucking 60 years ago. And I can't remember what it was. I did a TikTok about it. But then they started talking about magnetism, and magnetism being over gravity was like nothing. Magnetism is the thing. This was like 60 years ago. And that is like the whole thing about with Trump, with the magnetism and stuff. It's the whole thing about Tesla and energy. It's the whole thing about this other, the hidden truth of like energy and stuff. So the magnetism, and it has to do with your soul. Your soul pulls in, like how they say, like whatever energy you are focused on, that will come to you. So it is, it's done through the magnetism. You magnet, it's an energetic magnetism that pulls it towards you. And but in the game thing, I think that it is, that magnetism, it pulls people towards each other. So it's this soul magnetic force. It is like it pulls us towards each other. Like there's no getting away from it. You can't stop. You know, you can't change it. You can't make it different. It is like the same thing as like what is yours will always come to you. And what is, like you don't have to get up in the morning and make a plan over what you're going to experience in life. It's going to come to you. It's automatically, your day will begin to unfold when you get up and things start to occur. Your experience for that day has already started, and it comes to you without you having to do anything. So that is like this magnetism. And this magnetism, I think we're going to learn a lot more about it. And I think that is, the introduction was something about the MAGA. Like there was more when I saw somebody do a breakdown on that I think it was Charlie Freak. He did a lot of good breakdowns back in 2020. I don't know what he's doing now. And who knows, like, I mean, and some of the people I think that they've got a hold of too. And I don't know, there's so much shady shit. And just like, and everything is infiltrated. Some of those people, even what I see, some of those spiritual people saying stuff, they seem like robots or something. They seem kind of void of personality. They just seem so robotic. So that is a part of hiding from your authentic self. Because your authentic self, I don't think, will seem robotic. It will seem clumsy, silly, you know, is more of childish. Like when you were a kid, you didn't overthink every little move you made. That happened later after you got your feelings hurt, after somebody pointed out you did something stupid or whatever. Then you become hyper focused, thinking about your every move. But back when you're a kid, and you just are like having fun and stuff, you're not overthinking it. And that is where you heal, so that you don't have to overthink it. So you can just go out and be yourself. You don't have to think like, oh, is somebody watching me? Oh, did I do that wrong? Oh, did I say that wrong? No, you can just be you and not be concerned. That is finding your authenticity, is finding your truth, is just being you and not being concerned. And that is that reconnection to yourself, your childlike self, your whatever that's called, your youthful self, your child, your younger child. I can't think of it, what it's called now. It's all like in your psychology healing and stuff. And the connect to your inner child, maybe it's called. But anyways, it's reconnecting to your younger self, the self of you that was more innocent and playful and happy and excited. And then, you know, finding out what happened. What happened? Why did you stop being that? And why did you start trying to please others and become somebody different than you were? And so it's that, you know, discovery. You know, finding your old self and picking them up and trying to heal them and get back to them. And but there's so many of these people that I see that they are just continuing this persona, like they're too focused on what others think or something. I don't know. But that's the part that's going to be broken down. It's something that I just keep noticing to the point where I can't even stand to. There's a lot. There's a lot of videos I can't stand to, like the one girl who has been taking her relationship all over the place, like all over the place, all on social media. And she remarried him yesterday or this week. They got remarried. And, and she's all thinking like everything's going to be great. And it can be like, there is people who split up and then that really shows them that they really want to be back together, and they get back together and they stay together for, ever, and they're happy. But a lot of cases, if you split up, there's a reason. And those reasons aren't going to just go away because you've had time apart and stuff. Like, there's a lot of healing. A lot of times that those things just become less important. And the time away, you just don't give them the same kind of weight. And then you got to get back into the relationship again and all of a sudden be like, oh my God, we're doing this again? I thought we were better than this. It's like, well, how did you going to get better? You got to work on it. You got to do something. And, when, I don't know, her videos every day was just like, there's so many people that just, I don't even know. I don't want to be judgmental on all their videos. There's literally people who will just sit and just stare at the camera while a song plays. Lots of them. Lots. And, anyways, but there was like a lot of things where, it didn't seem like that she was focused on healing and getting better. It was more focused on, like maybe just who to start dating next, or it was just, I don't know. So to me, it's like, it seems kind of like you're taking steps backwards. If you're going to go to the point of splitting up, even getting divorced, you probably should spend time, working on yourself and healing. But if you're going to think about getting back together, you should probably take a lot of time, a lot more than a couple months, and take time and go, to counseling, dating, spending time together, doing a lot of things together. People get so caught up in this romantic and somebody saving them and everything, becoming better. I think we all have those kinds of things that, but you have to be realistic. And so, yeah, if you've already split up, that a lot of times is just going backwards. But when you're going backwards, it's because there's still lessons to learn. So I just think like, I bet you this is going to go right back into more fucking drama on here. Or on TikTok. Hers is on TikTok. But it's like, man, a lot of people just have, it's just like, this is just, I don't know. It's this is the wild west of Soul Land or something. All this stuff playing out, all this stuff going, and things that people are doing and choices that they're making and stuff, especially because they're still doing so much in the dark. Like, we still have this big light that's going to come on. And I still think it's going to have to do with, the government, Joe going down. And, because he's going to be arrested. Like, what was it? It was another thing. C-SPAN was doing a thing this morning, talking about, or it could have been yesterday. But it seems like, he's got way too many charges and stuff. Like, this is all just a big drama to take him down, to take down his legacy, to take down government, to take down all of this, because all of these government things are all like gangsters. They're all gangsters. They all got to go down. So he's, the catalyst. He's going to far-reaching hands that are going to take down a lot of people. Oh, which Vladimir, he did a little thing, and he said that the time for the vampires is up, and they've had their time long enough, and that the vampires are done. They're going. What have I said for so long? These people are fucking vampires. And they're vampires. They've been around for a long ass time, And that's the problem. And I know these weirdos getting all into kids and stuff is a big problem, but there's so much more bad stuff because these people, beings, whatever the fuck that you want to call them, they have to eat, and they eat all of us. So that's a big problem, I think. And they enjoy to. They're like cats. You know how cats like to play with the mouse or something before they kill it? They'll bat it around, play, chase it, and stuff like that. And then a lot of times they'll kill it after they do that. Some won't, but a lot will. That's how they are. They like to play with their food. With their food. So, anyways, that is, and that stuff is all coming out too. And don't forget, all of their houses and stuff have been confiscated. And all of that stuff that is their stuff that is getting sold, is all that money is going back to the people. Oh, yeah, and I just saw another weird thing. The goddess of hell or something is named Vatic. It's just like the same spelling as Vatican, only without the A-N on the end. Vatica. And she's the goddess of hell or something. Like this place. This place is like, oh my God. And it's like they create hell. It's like hell is a place, they've created their own God. They've created their own hell. All of this stuff is, I don't know. It seems like it's real because it's become real in people's minds. Like it's actually created. There's people, you can't convince them that there's no hell. You can't convince them there's no devil. You can't convince them there's no Jesus. You can't convince them there's no God. One and all, the one almighty. The guy in the clouds who just sits around watching us all day long. And he chooses the best ones. Yeah, it's a daily lottery. If you do good that day, you could become chosen. I don't know. It's up to God. He'll decide. He's got a lot to do, but he knows every hair on your head. So I just think some of the stuff, I don't know, is so absurd, or I don't know. It's like, it is as stories of like a hope, like a hopeless, a scared kind of hope. Like, I sure hope that that's true. But if you go in and you really connect to your soul, then you find out the truth, and the truth is better than the stories they give. Like, yeah, this is not where you live. This is where you come to work. This is where you come to learn. This is where you come to grow. This isn't where you live. So, and the whole time, whenever you are, I was like, how long have I been talking? 53 minutes. Okay, but let me think. If I had finished that, I still can't remember what it was I was going to say about it. Something about, I know it was something about me. All about me. Something about me. Something I had done or something. Was it with the vitamins? But I did want to say something about that. I was just thinking about some of the comments that I had gotten on TikTok. There's still so many people, like, just don't even think like this is possible. Your hair doesn't change colors. I just think it's the wildest thing is that somebody's hair is changing colors. They're documenting it and showing it, and then you're coming and telling them that that's not possible. Well, how is it, like, then explain it. How is my hair changing? My hair didn't fall out and grow new hair. It is the actual hair changing. And you can look at old videos and see how much less there is. And so, that's real. And somebody was asking me about collagen. I think it was because as a part of aging is a reduction of collagen in your skin, and that has something to do with copper. Copper builds up the collagen, or makes the collagen not dry up or something. But there is also something with the iron, the cast iron. Like, you still got to get like cook with cast iron because you need the iron too, and then the copper, and then the minerals from the mineral salts. And somebody, they said, well, you know, like, they wish that they could afford a cast iron pan, and yeah, they're expensive. So what I did was, I got a pie pan, and I think it's like a 10-inch pie pan, and it's cast iron. You can fry in it. You can do anything. It just doesn't have a handle. It's got handles on the side, though. You can still pick it up with heat pad things, so you can still use it. You don't have to just bake pies in it. You can use it for whatever you want. It's just like a frying pan without the handle. And it's cheaper. I was trying to think, like, how much was that? Was it $30 or $20 or something? It could have still been like $30 for that pie pan, but still, it's better to get cast iron. And then the other cast iron pan I got was, because even if you look at them at the thrift stores, they're expensive. But the other one I got is flat, and it came with the tortilla set. And then it had a tortilla press, and so you press them, which works good for making all kinds of flatbreads and stuff too. So anyways, the press thing is cool. I like the press thing. And it came with this frying pan to cook the tortillas on, which I cook tortillas on that all the time. And so, see, it gets iron through that. Cook potatoes on there, gets iron in there. Everything you cook on it, it's the same way as drinking out of the copper. So you drink out of the copper leaches in minerals into the water. And when you cook on the cast iron, it leaches the iron into your food, and so you get more minerals, more nutritious food. That's why, well, they started putting on Teflon and stuff, is they use the same kind of concept, only to leach poisons into our stuff instead. And so but when you use the cast iron, so then it does something with the blood and all of that. And then the copper, it does something with, like, inside of you, makes like everything more absorbent. And so it builds up the collagen and stuff, but it needs the iron to build it up. So you need to add in more of the things. But yeah, your skin aging is as fake as the hair thing. It's the same thing as a depletion. Everything is a depletion. And some of us, we've gone through years and years and decades of being depleted. So we have to, you know, it's like our comeback. We have to find our way back. And younger people who haven't gone so deep into the aging process, then they can turn things around faster, you know, start making changes and improving their health before it deteriorates. A lot of us, our health has deteriorated through the aging process, through the extended periods of time with lack of nutrition and too much toxins. So now, you know, we have things to get back, you know, into our health. And just remember too, is while you're doing it, don't get caught up in the flesh and blood, because that is a limitation. You got to keep seeing yourself as your spiritual side, your light being, and use your mind to heal things and to picture things, because your mind has so much more control than what you think. Your mind is is in control of is kind of everything, and everything is what you believe it is. So it's whatever you believe. That's why we're at this time of evaluating, self-evaluating, expansion of beliefs. That is the taking down the restrictions. It's taking down the limitations. It's beginning to be able to see more, because all the other was so restrictive in how you were able to see yourself. And so this is, you know, but it is the time of mirrors too. So you're going to see yourself, but you got to heal yourself, because there's a lot of parts of yourself that when you see yourself that you're going to be disappointed in yourself. You're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to feel weak. You're going to feel like a follower. You're going to feel shallow. You're going to feel like a artificial and bully. Like there's a lot of different parts of yourself that you will have to recognize as you go through the process, so that you can, let go of that. Let go of those parts of yourself, so that you can go towards your best version of yourself. But see, you got to see those things, and in order to release those things. And so, the time of mirrors has to do with being able to see yourself and release it and go through it, but then to be able to see yourself when you get to that part of the champion yourself, to see yourself as it is like your own creation, because you have to make the choices over what it is you heal and how you deal with things and how you maneuver yourself through the world. So you are your own creation. But anyways, so this is this time of being able to heal yourself, witness yourself, grow and evolve and become, this best version of yourself that you take forward. It's like your avatar that you move forward, but you got to let go of the idea of the flesh and blood, because it will limit you, it will hold you back. And there's a lot of things where during this you can't be held back, like, because I swear to God, there can be, something happen, like a explosion, and there will be people who will think like, well, that will be their exit. But I swear to God, there will be people who will just walk out of it like nothing. There's going to be, I really think there's going to be some like really magical, fantastic things. They're going to get people to realize, like, we have so much more control. There is such a surrender to death. The idea of death is such a surrender. But there is a part of this process too where it is the ending of it. So it's still going on, but we're just in this evolution where we're changing. So yeah, we're going to look at it. We're going to see things that are going to make us question everything, to make us see things differently. And the facing of how much we've limited ourselves. And no matter what, flesh and blood is definitely a limitation. And there is so many of these spiritual people too that I see all the time talking about flesh and blood, talking about all the time out in space, and talking about we're going around in space, and there's a lot of stuff. Like, you really just gotta just pay attention and take take what serves you. Like they say, take what serves you, take what makes sense to you, take the seeds that they offer. Just don't just jump on board with, all of, like, even mine. You don't have to go in and just believe everything I say just because I say it. If you don't feel it, then you gotta go with what you feel. You gotta go with what's right to you. You don't have to try and go with what's right to somebody else. And so anyways, but that is, that's this whole thing about, becoming your own savior, becoming your own truth, trusting yourself, being true to yourself, being real. And, but those are all things that are hard. Like, you got to work up to it. It's very vulnerable to be real because, yeah, you've had your feelings hurt. People have said things and put you down and made you feel stupid and made you feel smaller and weaker and stuff than you are. And but that is like why you can heal it, why you can go back in, you can look at it and think about it and face it, and then go out and take some chances. Show those sides of yourself. Go out and be those sides of yourself in the world. And in a world, remember, where people are, like, almost every person has been diagnosed with some sort of a neurodivergent or something. Most people are just trying to come to terms with their own weirdness. And so they're a lot more open to other people's weirdness. Like, it's not the same as like in school where we were all trained to be mean and, make everybody have to fit into a fucking template. Now it is a lot more like, enjoy everybody's uniqueness. Just be regular, be real. And that is a much better place to be. But anyways, but you got to work up to it, and it can be, if you've been shamed a lot and you've been put down a lot, it's going to feel super uncomfortable every time you start to show yourself. You're going to feel that same thing. Like, you're going to feel like everybody's looking at me, everybody's laughing at me, everybody thinks I'm stupid, everybody thinks this. And that is your challenge. That's the dark energy that will hold you back too. That's the ones where you got to tell them, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your shit. You feel kept me back long enough. Yeah, you do. You do really have to tell them to shut the fuck up. Because they will. They will just feed that fear to keep you held back so that you won't try and take a risk. You won't try and do something different because they don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you feel good. And, eventually you will. Eventually you will succeed. Eventually you'll feel good. Eventually, just the right thing will happen, just the right moment, and you will, all of a sudden, you'll feel good. You'll feel good about yourself. You won't feel like that you are somebody who needs to be hidden and shamed and embarrassed of themselves, embarrassed of their past. It's just, just claim your past, claim who you are, and then just be like, that's my story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And just remember the whole time, whenever you're sticking to any story, whenever you're looking at anything, is just to remember this is all about you learning to love yourself, love everyone, and have a loving day. And that's all there is to it. So I'll talk to you later.